Imagine this. You're petting your dog, you smile, you act calm. But inside, you're stressed, angry, or sad. Does your dog know? The answer is yes, and it goes way deeper than you think. Animals don't just sense your emotions. Some of them can tell when you're being dishonest, when your body is saying one thing and your face is saying another, when you're pretending. Today, we're going to find out exactly how they do it, and the answer will make you think twice about every interaction you've ever had with an animal. Let's start with the basics. Humans lie constantly. We smile when we're unhappy. We say we're fine when we're not. We pretend to be calm when we're terrified. We've been doing this so long that we've gotten very good at hiding our true feelings from other humans. But animals didn't evolve to read human social masks. They evolved to read reality, and that makes them, in some ways, much better at detecting dishonesty than we are. Here's the first thing animals can do that most people don't realize. They read your body before your face. When a human lies or feels stress, the body gives off signals that the conscious brain has almost no control over. Your heart rate increases. Your breathing changes. You sweat slightly more. Your muscles tense. Your pupils dilate. You cannot fake these things. You can fake a smile. You cannot fake your heart rate. And animals, especially dogs, horses, and cats, are exquisitely sensitive to exactly these signals. Dogs can smell the change in your sweat chemistry when you're stressed or lying. Their nose has up to 300 million scent receptors, compared to our 6 million. They are literally smelling your emotional state. A 2021 study found that dogs could detect stress in human breath and sweat with 93.75% accuracy. Not just stress, specific emotional states. They don't need your face. They already know. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Animals watch your eyes. Humans are one of the only species on Earth with visible white around our pupils. Most animals have dark eyes all around. Scientists believe humans evolved visible whites specifically for communication, so other humans could follow our gaze and understand where we were looking. But here's the thing. Animals learn to read this too. Dogs follow human eye direction better than any other animal, including our closest relatives, the chimpanzees. Studies show that dogs pay attention to whether your eyes are open or closed before deciding whether to trust you or steal food. When your eyes are open and watching them, they behave. When you look away, they test boundaries. They know when you're watching, and they adjust accordingly. That is not instinct. That is calculated social awareness. But can they actually detect a deliberate lie? Yes, and here's the proof. Scientists showed dogs 2 containers. One had food, one was empty. A human pointed to the food container. The dog went to it and found food. Trust established. Then, the human pointed to the empty container. The dog went to it and found nothing. Here's what happened next. When that same human pointed again, the dogs ignored them completely. They had learned in just 1 or 2 trials that this specific human could not be trusted. They stopped following their direction entirely. But when a new trustworthy human pointed, the dogs followed immediately. Dogs don't just follow pointing. They evaluate the reliability of the pointer. They track your honesty record. And it's not just dogs. Horses can read human facial expressions with stunning accuracy. A 2016 study showed horses' photographs of human faces, just photographs, showing angry expressions versus happy ones. The horses responded to angry photos with increased heart rate, turned their head to view the image with their left eye, which connects to the right brain hemisphere that processes threats. and showed clear stress signals. They had never met these people. They were just photos. And yet the horses knew the difference between a threatening face and a safe one. When real humans approached horses with hidden negative emotions while pretending to be calm, the horses remembered those people's faces for at least 6 months and remained wary of them. They remembered who had lied to them with their emotions. Crows are perhaps the most unsettling example of all. Crows recognize individual human faces. Not just tell humans apart generally, they recognize specific faces and remember exactly what those humans did to them. If a crow decided you were a threat, they will remember your face. They will warn other crows about you with specific alarm calls. They hold grudges. In studies at the University of Washington, researchers wore specific masks while capturing crows. When those masked researchers appeared later, even years later, the crows would dive bomb and mob specifically those masks, while completely ignoring neutral researchers who had never harassed them. The crows also taught their children to recognize the threatening masks, without those other crows ever having seen the researcher themselves. They passed the information down, they gossiped, they warned their community. If a crow decides you're untrustworthy, the whole neighborhood knows. Elephants take this even further. Elephants can distinguish between different human groups, languages, and genders, and they categorize them based on threat level. A study in Kenya found that elephants reacted with fear, specifically to the scent and sound of Maasai men, who traditionally competed with elephants, while remaining completely calm around Kamba men who had no history of elephant conflict. The elephants couldn't even see who was approaching. They were making judgments, purely on smell and sound. They built a threat assessment system, over generations of experience with different human groups, and they pass this knowledge to their calves. Young elephants learn which humans to fear before they've ever had a direct negative experience themselves. So, what does all of this mean? Every time you interact with an animal, your dog, a horse, a crow, you walk past every morning. Even wild animals you encounter, they are reading you, they are building a file on you. Your emotional honesty, your reliability, your threat level, your trustworthiness. And they remember. Your dog knows when you're faking happiness. Your horse knows when you're pretending to be calm. The crow outside your window has decided whether you're safe or not. The elephant in the safari park has already categorized you before you got off the truck. We spend so much time wondering what animals think. The truth is, they've already figured out what to think about us. There's one more thing worth knowing before we finish. Animals that live closely with humans, especially dogs, have developed a unique ability that even our closest primate relatives don't have. They watch our faces for emotional cues the same way human infants do. A human baby looks at a face and immediately tries to read the emotion. Dogs do the same thing. Chimpanzees don't. They look at the whole body first. Dogs evolved this face-reading ability specifically through thousands of years of living with humans. They essentially became emotionally bilingual, fluent in both animal signals and human facial expressions. Your dog isn't just reading your body, it's reading your face, your micro-expressions, the tiny muscle movements around your eyes and mouth that happen in milliseconds, and they're doing this constantly. Every time they look at you, so no, you cannot lie to your dog. You never could. If this made you look at your pet differently, you're not alone. Subscribe to Stick Civilizations for more fascinating ancient history and animal facts every Tuesday and Friday. And drop a comment below. Has your pet ever caught you in a lie? What did they do?